Login accepted.
Twitch, it would be, you'd have to wait and see like the boot up screen and everything. So yeah, this is like a really good tool to be able to like simulate like what it'd be like to, use networking devices in real life without having to pay anything. So hopefully you guys have downloaded Packet Tracer. Has everyone downloaded it? All right, yeah. So if you haven't, yeah, make sure to download Packet Tracer right now. And there's gonna be a thing while you're logging in. It's gonna be called like Skills for All or something. And then just log in with like any account like Google or whatever. And then yeah, just let me know when like everyone's good. Is everyone good? Like they have Packet Tracer logged in and everything? Is there anyone who's not? All right, I'll just give you a second. And so yeah, just download Packet Tracer, and then yeah, there'll be a thing on the right side that you could log in. So yeah, I'll just give like 2 minutes, and then I'll show you guys the topology that I want you guys to make. I'm gonna just show you guys like the topology now. All right. So this is basically what I wanted you guys to configure. So on the left, I have like kind of like some basic like ideas to follow like throughout setting this up. And then on the other side, there's like some helpful router commands. So yeah, that should definitely be enough for you to like kind of like figure it out yourself. And then anytime you're stuck in the command line, make sure to use question mark. Like if you do question mark, it'll basically show you every single command you could do in that mode. And like, if you're starting a command and you do question mark, it'll show you all the commands that ends with that. So yeah, for now, I would say just start with physically setting this up, like placing all the PCs and then the switches and stuff. You could also add the circles. They have that thing, but that's more of a visual thing for me because it's like easier to tell like, how the different LANs are split up. Like, this like f first circle is LAN 1, that one's LAN 2, and then, the ones in between the routers technically LAN 3. So yeah, I would just say first set them up, and if you could see under, they have a number, and that's the part number. Like when you're adding them, placing the parts, like it'll say 2960 for the switch, and then 2911 for the router. So make sure to use those. So yeah, here's like basically the package tracer which you should be seeing right now. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, this is basically what you should be seeing right now. And if you could see on the thing, like 2911 is right here, so it'd be like something like this. And then what you guys can do is like if you see this connection, like this lightning bolt right here, and click this lightning bolt, like this uh thing right here will choose the wire for you. Honestly, I would say like just search up what things connect to what and try and figure it out yourself because they'll have like all the different options of types of cables you could use. Because like for example, like what would connect a PC to a switch would not be the same thing as like a router to a router. Like they use different cables. So, but like this thing automatically would choose them, so you wouldn't have to even like you could just plug one thing into the other, and it would like dynamically know which one to plug into what. So if I just did that, so, like it would just do like that, and it would just kind of basically know, and then for the other devices. So for the switches, it asks for switches or down here, yeah, 2960. I guess that's really the only one you could use. You'd place those. You do the same thing. And then yeah, just the end devices are all same thing. So yeah, like what I did to separate them logically is like there's something, yeah, they're just like tools up here that you can, like circle things if you want. But yeah, that's more just like that doesn't really affect like any of the like, if you use it. All right, but yeah, so far like this should be your physical setup, but notice if you really like zoom in to each of them, you'll notice all of these are called link lights, and if you've ever seen a router in real life, like you'll see like there's like a million things blinking, right? It's just like blinking over and over. It's like gonna be blinking like 100 times over. And if it's this color, that means like even on a physical router that it's not physically like it's not connected. And this would actually change to green. For one, it changes to green when the interface is turned on. So
Mhm.
every interface naturally is shut down, like in a shutdown state. And okay, yeah, okay. But yeah, so yeah, like these ones are kind of like naturally on because it's like an end device, so like there's really not much connectivity with it. Um, but yeah, like all of these, they first need you to go into them, and if you see right there, if you hover over them, you see all of the interfaces that it has, and if you see it's like down, 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 down. What you need to do yourself is you need to go into them. So what you'll do is you'll click. Oh, not delete. Like you click into these and then it would show you this. So this is good. This is why packet trace is good, is because this is physically like what the switch is. Like this is what it would be in real life. There'd be like 100 of them stacked on top of each other, and like this is what they'd look like. So you could, and then to actually configure it, you'd go to this one. It's called CLI, and this is the same for router and switches. CLI is command line interface, and then just to start doing it, click enter. And then, yeah, just use the commands on the other screen when I bring it back up to keep on going. For example, you do enable, go up the level, configure terminal, and then yeah, like so on and so forth. And then what you want to do is notice how this thing is gigabit 00, right? So, oh, this is the wrong thing. And then like it'll show you which one the connection is based on like the closest one to this. So like if you see this switch, like the connection going from this to this is using this FA01, and then the other way around, the router to the switch is using this gig 00 port. So that's like the physical port. Like if I go to the physical side of it, like G001 is like literally this port right here. Like this Ethernet cable right here is plugging into the Ethernet cable on here, like just like one to one. Like that's exactly what's happening. And the port number that is connecting to is like specified here. So what you're gonna do is go on to each of the devices, go into the interface, and you could do that. First, you have to enter what I just did, enable configure terminal. Once you're in, this is called global configuration mode. So enable takes you to privilege executive mode, which is you can't do much. And then global configuration mode is where you set like all of like the commands or like how you enter other interfaces for one, and how you also set like routing commands. So yeah, first go into, I would say start with the switches, go into them, enable configure terminal, see which one is connected to the actual router is connected to. For example, this one's, if you see right here, FA0/1. So I do interface FA0/1. And so if you see right here, it starts at config and then it changes to config/IF. So that means you're in interface configuration mode and you're currently configuring FA01. And so what you want to do to turn it on is called no shutdown, because what you in Cisco, all of the things like no basically like does the opposite of like what you just did. So imagine you did IP route and you're routing two things together, and you did the wrong IP address, but it's still technically valid because you could type in the wrong IP address and it'll still work, but you don't want it. So you do the exact same command like IP route and then the wrong command, but instead you put no in front. And so no just like literally negates it. Like it does like the opposite of applying it. It just like unapplies it. But naturally, all switches and routers, they have shutdown applied to every single one just for safety purposes. It doesn't make sense for every port to be on all the time, because if you were to plug in, your device into a port, like you shouldn't be able to just like configure it right away, because that's like a like uh security issue. So you have to go in physically to each one and shut them down. And if you're the person configuring it, you do more and you'd add more security stuff. But right now we're just doing this command to all of them. It's called no shutdown because what is applied to this interface right now is a command called shutdown, and that is applied to all of these. If I were to hover over this, like all of these that say down, it has shut down right under it. All right, let me open this back up. So you'll see what happens when I do no shutdown. Um, oh wait, do you have to plug these in? Uh, or maybe I have to do both sides. All right, and then I'm gonna sh no shut down the other side. Yeah, and then this is what you should see. Do you see like the link lights right here? How they're changing from those two red ones? Like look at these ones. Like right after I did that no shutdown, they go from these red down ones to these it'll be green. And notice how this one's yellow? That's because a real switch would take 20 to 30 seconds. Like you'll see this one change in a few seconds to green because it's actually like taking time to change. And this is what it'll actually show you on the switch. It would say change state to up. So now if we hover over this and then look at the actual, yeah, there we go. So it changed from that yellow state to like now a full green state. And you guys should go through all of them and just do no shutdowns on all of them. For one, just to turn them on. Like that's like that's like step one, I would say. So make sure you have all of them showing like green link lights, like how I did right here. So is anyone confused? Should I do another one? Or is that good? Like, do you think you could do like you could no shut down them on each of the interfaces? So for example, this switch you no shutdown on interface this. On this switch you do no shutdown on this interface. On this switch you do no shutdown on this and this. And then or I guess this one you do no shutdown on this and this and then no shutdown on this and this, and then on this one, no shutdown on this. And then for the rest of them, they're already on because you don't need to really do any more configuration on end devices. Like if you were to plug in your laptop into a switch, it would figure it out.
When connecting a router to a switch, what outlet should we be doing for the switch? Should it be gigabit or half gigabit?
For a router to a switch, like a switch, does it have gigabit Ethernet?
Yeah, it has two.
It has two, but just do fast Ethernet. For the most part, you don't really see that. Like, I think fast. Yeah, go ahead. What did they say? The router one CLI.
Yeah.
Uh, so the router one CLI, like it has the exact same commands basically. The only difference in the entire thing is just it's gigabit Ethernet 0-1 instead of FA01 because routers use gigabit Ethernet and not fast Ethernet. So yeah, everything else should be the exact same commands. And then you basically do the identical commands to this side, and then um yeah, like the whatever port is showing right here is what you should no shut down. Like these two ports you need to no shut down on this router. And then while you guys are in router one, like you could also might as well just do gig 00 as well. So you do like if I did it right here, I could just show it right now. Oh yeah, also once you're in like interface configuration mode, like you can't do anything other than configure this gigabit 01 interface. So each time you have to do exit. So like when you exit, you'll see it goes from configuration interface back down to global configuration mode. So global configuration mode is kind of like where you enter the interface and then like you have to exit each time if you want to enter a new one. And it honestly might work if I'm gonna try it like if I'm in interface mode, if I could enter another interface. Like I think I might be able to, or it might just like kind of just kick me out back to global because it knows like you can't really. Or maybe yeah, maybe it just works, to be honest. Like I think you could just like enter others in like it's just like smarter, I guess. So
You know,
so yeah, I'll just start configuring the other side. Do you have a question? Oh no, you're good.
yeah.
So yeah, now I'm gonna do the same for the link between the two routers. So I just did the same thing. Enter interface gigabit Ethernet 0-0. And then, this one changes to up. And so it'll still show red up until like I do both sides. So you have to, turn on both sides before it actually works. What's up?
I see it with it.
Okay. Oh yeah, that thing. Yeah, so right now it's still showing red, but the second I enter interface 0-0 on this one, do no shutdown on that, it'll show green. So I'll just do that right now. Yeah, there we go. So now you could see like that I did on both sides that it became green, but like up until you do it on both sides, it's not going to show green. So yeah, like your goal right now should just be to get all of these to show green, like all links. And then I'll show you guys how to actually apply the IP addresses so that they can start talking to each other from LAN to LAN. Oh yeah, also when you're opening the routers, it'll say like initial configuration dialog. Yeah, always say no because like it'll just give you some long thing. Yeah, good. IP of the router. I think it should just be, or I'll pull up the thing. I have the configuration up there, but let me see. I don't think that matters this much for this type of configuration. Like you could just do the I think you should do 192.168.1.1. And then for the other side it's 2.1. But I need to pull up the other thing. Or just wait a second because everybody else is probably getting their link lights up. So like once you do that, I'll start doing the IP stuff. Okay, now I guess I'll show you guys how to set the addresses. So for the PC one, so for the PC one, we'll do this address, and then I'll put up the topology again, and it has all the addresses under it. So this one should just be 192.168.1.11, and then yeah, it should just automatically set the subnet mask, and that's fine. And then I don't think the default gateway should matter, but I think if you want to change it, you could just set it to the dot one, because that would be this router's IP address, if I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So if you guys didn't see how I got there, I'll just do it again. So you open the PC. It should open on physical. Like it should just look like this. So you go to desktop and then IP configuration. And then that's how you set it for each thing. And so that's how you do for the PCs. That's like the super easy one. And then I'll show you it for the router. So for example, oh, is it not showing this thing? Oh, so did you guys not see what I did? Where did I put this? Oh, wait, I'm not sharing the full screen. I'm just sharing packet tracer. Yeah, yeah, just do. Okay, sorry about that. I'll just do it again. So basically, when you open up a PC, it should be on this tab, like physical. Go to desktop, IP configuration, and just put in these. And then I'm in a second, I'm gonna put up what they should all be. And then I guess you could do it yourself too, where, under the instead of PC1, you just type this IP address. It just it makes it easier to like kind of see like what's what. And then after that point, like our goal here is to be able to ping from this PC. It should go to this router through this router and then ping either of these. And then same thing for this, like this should be able to ping any of these and then just on the other LAN. Because right now, like even though there is no IP route set up or IP addresses, like realistically, you should probably still be able to ping these two PCs because they're in the same LAN and there's no like actual connectivity. You're just like um pinging two devices that are basically directly connected. So yeah, our goal is like to ping, and then this right here, this like gap is basically what we could consider the internet. And like, this is your home router, and then this is your ISP router, or like, whatever topology you could think of. It's just like two different LANs being connected together with this. Okay, so I'll just set an IP address on the router right now, and then yeah, you guys could just try it for all of them. So this is router one. So we're gonna do enable, pick T, and so I'll just start with the route that goes between the two routers. So so check the interface. So I'm gonna be doing it on gig 0-0. So since it's G 0-0, so now I'm in gig 00. So what you do to actually set the IP address is straight up IP address 192, or no, this is not 192. This one's 10.0 or 10.10.10.2. And then so this is the IP address, but you can't leave it at that. You have to add a subnet mask. So you'd have to add the subnet mask. I'm just gonna do /24 for all of them. So that's just gonna be 255.255.255.0, and you click enter, and that's it. That's just the IP address. So now on gig 00, it has this address. And then another thing you can do, this is what you should do, just when you're configuring a router in general, is this command. So you have to first leave the configuration mode, or another thing you could do is like a trick you could do that you just learned along the way is you could do a command on any level of routing if you just do in front of it. So if I did show run, so show run is basically like this is everything that's in the NVRAM. So like when you boot up your computer or when you boot up your router, I mean, this is what is going off of. So if I go down, you just clicking enter down, like now you could see this address just got applied to 00. And then if you see for all the other ones, like this address right here, gig 00, and like these are the commands that are put onto it. No IP address. These are just automatic and then shut down. So this is what it is. And then what you did is you did no shutdown and you added this IP address. So this is for this one, and then you're going to do the same for this gig 0-0 line. And if I were to do that and then do the show run again, it would show like a IP address populated here. So this show run command is like kind of how you could verify along the way that your like addresses and everything's applying correctly. And this will definitely like save you along the way, because if you make any errors, like there's really no way to check other than this, or other than like maybe specific show commands. And then if you guys see, if I go into like a different command mode and I did show run, it wouldn't work. It would say like input detected. But if I did what I was saying, do show run, like then it would do it, because do basically just like overdoes like the other command. But yeah, if you just did show run normally in anything other than privilege exec mode, it would give you an error. So that's like the only thing you can do in the privilege exec mode, like the enable mode. And then yeah, so I'm just gonna put up the topology and then just put the IP addresses like how I just did for each of them, and then on the topology it'll show you what IP addresses are under what. Oh, no, no, no. In a second, he'll pull up like the topology, and under each thing it'll have the IP address that you should put on it. So if you see right there, that's like the IP address I want you to put on each of them. It's like, for that PC is 1.11, for that one is 1.10, and they're both of their default gateways would be 1.1. And then for that one, it should be 2.11 and then 2.10, and then both of their default gateways should be 2.1.
So it can't be like something random.
No, it wouldn't be something random, because if you think about it, like you're setting the addresses as like these are like verified addresses you can like connect to, and like it's just like a disorganized. You can't just give like random IP addresses, because that's also how you're talking to the router. So like I'm gonna check what route I put on to the uh this the one going between the switch and the router, but like that's also an address you have to do, but it would be like 192.168.1.1. I'll explain in a sec. All right, so actually, you guys need to add one more thing to the router. I forgot to mention, but you have to add a serial route, and this is kind of cool. Like adding ports to the router is like kind of like realistic in how you do it because I'll show you in a second exactly what you have to do. All right, I kind of cooked it though, because like if you like added IP addresses already to the things, you just have to re-add them to this new serial thing. So if you see like realistically, you guys have this dash line, right? So we don't want that. So we actually want this one right here, serial DTE. So if you were to, let me delete this. So yeah, like it just the IP router is just not working without it. So if you were to try it without it, it just wouldn't work. Like it just can't be connected. So what you have to do is open your guys' routers, and then in this physical tab, there's gonna be this addition called HWIC-2T. So this is like actually how a real router is. So if you're working with the real network equipment, if you were to think about what to do, you'd first have to turn it off, add the ports you want to add, and then turn it back on. Like you can't just like put it in. Like if I try to do it, I'll show you right here. I cannot add module when the power is on. So if you look down here, this like little thing, this power button, like if you click it, it will literally change. Let me see if I can zoom in. I don't know, or yeah, zoom in. So do you see this power button? Like, watch, I'll click it, it'll turn off, and now I could add this to it. So add this right here. It's called HWIC-2T, and add it to both routers. And then yeah, so once you add this, you turn it back on, and I'll do it for this side. So physical HWC2T. First turn it off, put this in, turn it back on. Okay. So now you'll notice if I put in the serial cable into here, connected this serial cable. Now you could do serial connection. So yeah, I didn't realize like you can't do the IP route without the serial connection. So now I'm gonna just do the configuration of what you do. So I'll just do a run through configuration of like everything you do, just like speed run it really quick, and then kind of show you like what you guys were meant to do like along the way. So yeah, I'll start with these PCs. So PC1, this is right. PC2, 192.168.2 dot, what is it, 1.10? Yeah, 1.10. This, make the default gateway 192.168.1.1. Okay, that's good. Now this side, 10.168.2.10. 192.168.2.1. So there's this router. So now I'm gonna do the serial port. This is the one I forgot. So you do interface for that, and then the IP address I said to add was this. Yes. Okay, so that's that IP address. But it's on. This is .2. Okay, that's good. All right, so now I'm gonna set the IP routes for all them. So this is what I was doing in the lecture the other day. So what you do is IP route. So we're trying to go to so from this router, what it knows so far is it knows this whole thing because it's directly connected to it. It knows this link right here because it's directly connected to, but it has no idea what the 2.0 network is. So since this IP is 192.168 2 dot something, this is the 1 dot something, so it doesn't know that one. So that's what we're gonna show it to with that. So since the destination is the 2.0, we're gonna start with that. So 2.0, this is the size of it. This is /24. And then it's coming from, since this router knows up until this next hop, this is the next hop it's going to use. So this one is 10.10.10.2. So which router? Yeah, so we're going to put in 10.10.10.2. Okay, so now that's the IP route set for that. And then we're going to do on the other side. So since this router now, it knows this LAN, it knows the 2 dot LAN, and it knows up until this route right here, but it has no idea what the 1 dot LAN is. So we're gonna add the 1 dot LAN. So IP route, the destination is 192.168.1.0. That's the one LAN. And then it's coming from this this next hop right here, which is the 10.10.10.1. And then the other side was the 2. Then that should be good. So after that point, to test configuration, you could go into command prompt and then ping it. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, 682.11. So the first one should time out, and then everyone after that should work because that's just like how ARP works. Yeah, there you go. So this is actually very realistic to like how it would work in real life. So the first thing would always time out because it first is establishing like, oh, is this like a legitimate connection? And then all of that after that should show replies. And then so I'm communicating with this one right here, PC3, because this is the 2.11 as I put in here, and then I could try this one as well, the 2.10 on top. So ping 192.168.2.11. Oh wait, no, I did 11. Okay, yeah, that works. But I want to do 2.10. And so it'll do the same thing. First one will time out, and then all three after will work. And if you notice for the one that timed out before, so after it established the connection, now all of them it gets replies. So this one, look, the first one time out. If I do it again to the same ping, like all of them, yeah, it'll have replies one after the other. So yeah, like the only thing that you need to change is basically this right here is you add that extra thing to it. Like you add, if you need to know again, HWIC-2T. So this is like the serial port thing. Turn it off, add this HWIC-2T to it, turn it back on. On that it'll be this interface. On this interface, add the IP address I put on the topology 10.10.10.1 for this one, 10.10.2 on this one on SE 0-3-0, and then do the IP route with on this router, this destination is 2.0, and then it's coming from this next hop, and for this router, it wants to go to the 1.0, this whole thing, and it's coming from this route because that's what it knows up until. So is anyone confused on or do you want like help like adding the ports or something? Okay, I'll hold
But
on.
it's still booting.
All right, dude. Just delete the router and add another one. It's just a glitch.
Okay.
All right, so I went around to some people and I feel like most people got theirs working. If you guys want like some last minute help getting yours working, just let me know, and I'll see if I could just like do like a real quick fix because yeah. All right, does anyone want help like real quick or no? Are you guys good? You want help? All right, so it looks like everyone's working. So I'm just gonna wrap this up. Hopefully you guys learned a bit about IP routing and you were able to get one PC to ping to the other. Thank you for coming to this.